It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Pump up the volume. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. So yeah, this is another episode of that deep, deep, deep shit where we, me and you, connect the dots, man. And the reason why I said me and you is because this is a learning experience for everybody. I'm not trying to be no master teacher. I'm a student. I'm a master student. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm doing is sharing the things that I've learned in my experience and hoping that I can encourage you guys to do the same. So when you leave comments at the bottom and you want to debunk me and, you know, say I'm tripping or crazy, that's cool. Well, let's learn. Okay, so prove me wrong, and what do you know? Okay, because the biggest the biggest university is the universe. Hence the phrase university, a place where we learn. So we all learn in this universe. And this episode is being brought to you by and is in dedication of one of my favorite cartoon characters, the boy Soundwave. Okay, Soundwave was like a lieutenant commander in communications for the Decepticons, man. He was really dope. You know what I'm saying? He was the boombox that transformed on Transformers back in the day, man. So this is dedicated in remembrance of Soundwave. So the name of this episode is called The Metaphysics of Music. Yeah, we finna go there with it. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump right in, man. You know, since the beginning of time, music has been used to convey or relay to convey and relay information. All the way since the beginning of time, when we had the drums in Africa. You know, the drums were the first real binary codes. So when you hit the drum, that's a 1. And the space in between the next drum, that's a 0. And then when you hit the drum again, that's a 1. So we've been doing binary codes. So the data and the information's been there. So, you know, when you know, back in the ancient times when you had tribes and they would pass along information, secret old ancient information to the next generation, they would do it through song. They would do it through theater and through song, and dance as well, you know. And that's how the information passed on to generation to generation. And remember, if you watch the last 3 videos before this, the sound code series, then you should already be caught up to speed on how you can program information into the vibrations of anything, whether it be words or instrumentation. So if you haven't seen that series, you can watch that now. Come back and then we can get busy. So, since the beginning of time, information has been passed on like that. All the way from the beginning to fast forwarding to, you know, Negro spirituals, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, when you have, you know, the slaves trying to escape and they're saying, like, you know, way in the water, stuff like that. That was a code. They was trying to tell you, man, wait. Man, they coming, duck down, let them pass, then we gonna keep moving. See, the information was embedded into the music. When you have stuff like a swing low, sweet chariot, this is all information. You know, there's not just song, it's information. So let's fast forward even more modern than that to the 1900s. Where you would have, you know, the emergence of the Harlem Renaissance and doo-wop and swing music, you know what I'm saying, and Cab Calloway and all these greats, you know what I mean. They were still taking that spiritual essence of the music and embedding into the new form of music, like swing and doo-wop, you know what I mean. It still had connotation of older influences of information. So let's even fast forward even more advanced than the doo-wop. You would have like jazz. See, the doo-wop spawned jazz, you know what I mean? And the jazz was so deep, and there was so much energy and information being played in that instrumentation with jazz. You couldn't help but feel it into your soul when you hear some jazz music, you know what I'm saying? Miles Davis and stuff like that. So even jazz spawned other forms of music like funk. And we can even fast forward even more recently than that, when you would have like the disco and the funk era in the 70s. Now that's where I kind of want to zero in at, because that's when it kind of kicks into gear of the meat of the video, what we're talking about right now. So there was a group called Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm pretty sure you've heard some of their songs. If not, get from under the rock you're under right now, because you're tripping. All right, so Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, the reasons that we had, all that, you know what I'm saying? Earth, Wind, and Fire. But the crazy thing about Earth, Wind, and Fire, right? I used to try to DJ, and as I was doing that, I was coming across all these Earth, Wind, and Fire albums, records, you know, vinyl. You probably don't know what vinyl is in 2015, but yeah, there were these things that you would put on a record player and put a needle on it, and it spins and it plays music. And the reason why I did do it is because of the vibration in the grooves on the needle. That vibration word again, because it's all vibration. Anyways, so I digress. So Earth, Wind, and Fire, I was looking at all their album covers, and all their album covers, man, is metaphysical, esoteric, deep shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was connecting the dots, like, oh, they been on this shit. They have everything from duality to gateways and portals to chakras to symbols and sigils. Everything is there in their album covers. So I'm like, damn, this shit ain't new. Of course it ain't new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. We Johnny come lately to the party. So I'm like, our parents and our parents, they've been exposed to all this metaphysical, higher dimensional shit. You know what I'm saying? They've been on it. So what happened? Where was the disconnect? Why did it get disconnected? How come they didn't teach us this shit? And why we had to go get on YouTube and all this shit to learn about, you know, this deep shit that's really the fabric of reality? So then that's what brought upon the idea for this video. So I'm like, maybe they didn't, maybe they got shut down on purpose. Because remember, in that time you had the hippie movement. It was all about peace and love is the best vibration. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the powers that be, they was probably like, nah, this is gonna get out of control. We need to shut this down. Stop smoking weed and talking about love and spreading vibrations. We don't need that shit. We have an agenda. I digress, but you know that's what happened. So you would have groups like Earth, Wind, and Fire who didn't blatantly talk about metaphysics, but it was blatantly on their artwork. So that tells me that they knew all of this extra dimensional, higher dimensional, fifth dimensional shit. You know what I'm saying? So what happens when you're a vibration or a vibrating energy, like a person who knows stuff, and you play instruments or sing? You're programming the vibration. Okay, so if you're a singer, or you play keys, or you play the drums, or you play the bass guitar, and you own some higher level shit, when you play it, it's gonna come out through your music. So even though you're not saying it blatantly, you are programming the vibration to the information. So when our parents was hearing all of this, right, their DNA were being programmed with the information. Remember, this goes from the beginning of time, from Africa to the Negro spirituals, to the swing, to the soul, to the Motown, to the disco, and to the funk. with all of that information. So when Earth, Wind, and Fire play their songs and our parents hear it, our parents' DNA got reconfigured with the information. They had us, and then hip-hop was born. Same information though. So now we like a hip, a hop, a hippie to the hippie, the hip hop, the rocky it don't stop, you know what I'm saying? But we not really knowing what it is. But that's why hip hop is so big now, because it still has that information in it. And we'll talk about who's trying to stop that information a little later in the video. I digress. So, another group that was super dope, that was on some next level, higher dimensional, space age shit, was Parliament. George Clinton and the Funkadelics. They had spaceships, pyramids, all-seeing eyes, aliens, Sir Nose, devoid of funk, I Will Never Swim, Star Child. They were talking about star children in the 70s. Okay, now to make the correlation from then to now, okay, example, case in point, George Clinton, the godfather of funk. Well, can't say that, can't forget James Brown, but you know what I'm saying. So who took George Clinton's whole essence? Dr. Dre. When he came out with the Chronic, right? That was nothing but remakes of George Clinton. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Bow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Who that turned into? Snoop Dogg. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Death Row's in the motherfucking house.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Doggy dogs in the motherfucking house. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Death Row's in the motherfucking house.
That's why the Chronic and all that era had so much impact, because it had all that information embedded into the music. It was embedded. We didn't, even though they wasn't saying Star Child and chakras and fifth dimension shit, it was embedded, encoded into the bass lines. It was encoded in the words. And that's why when you hear Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre, the Chronic, we all love that shit. Matter of fact, remember, swing low, sweet chariot. The information turned into swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride. Hell yeah. Information was just recycled and reprogrammed into a new generation.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home.
I said swing down, sweet chariot down, bend, let me ride. I break the swing down, chariot down, bend, let me ride. Swing down. What all the homies saying? Hell yeah. What all my homies saying? Hell yeah.
That's the whole point, right? So who did Dr. Dre influence? All these new niggas. From M to 50 to Drake to Wayne. All have been influenced by that whole era of the 90s. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, Puffy was super sampling too. So he was taking the information that was in the vibrations, sampling, right? You know what I'm saying? And reprogramming it into a new generation. So now all that information is in us right now. But the powers that be know that. And that's why they're dumbing the music down. They like, these motherfuckers got too much information in their DNA. If this shit comes online, we're fucked. See? So you wonder why they dumbing the music down. You get all this bullshit that you can't feel. It sound good when you're in the club. It sound good. You're like, oh shit, it sound good. Hey, it sound good, but it don't feel good. See, it's a difference. Cause when good music is good music, and it got that information in it, it's timeless. We could listen to some Marvin Gaye right now. It don't matter who you is, young, old. You could take a 2-year-old baby who don't know nothing about Marvin Gaye, never heard of Marvin Gaye in their life. Throw some Marvin Gaye on, see what happened. That little baby gonna feel that. I guarantee you. Little babies don't even know who Michael Jackson is. Throw some Michael Jackson on. Oh, they gonna feel that. I guarantee you, because the information is embedded in the vibrations. Now, we all know the powers that be is trying to shut this shit down. Our job is not to let that happen. Okay? So, the point of all of this, there's always a point when we connect the dots. The point of all of this is to know that the information is here. It's already in our DNA. We don't need no books. We don't need no outside sources. All we need to do is go inside, retrieve the information, retrieve the codes, and do something with it. It's good to learn about all this shit because it sounds good. But now, let's do something with it. You see? And that's the whole point. Alright? So look, I'm finna get up out of here, man. I done ran my mouth way too long. I'm done. I hope you like it. Please subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell them to subscribe. And tell them to tell another friend. And tell them to subscribe. If you want to talk shit about anything I said, please feel free. Okay? If you want to debunk me and prove me wrong, please feel free. Alright. If you love the videos, thank you for watching. Salute. I appreciate it. Listen, let me just take the time out and say thank you. I really, really thank those who are really taking the time out to listen to me ramble. I'm just playing. But sometimes I do ramble, and I know I get off course and jump back on course. I get that. But I'm just saying this shit off the top of the head. So, alright, man. In a minute.